Hi, my name is Tristan Brill, and I'll be showing you guys how to play Pathfinder. Pathfinder is one of the most versatile and the most common tabletop RPGs out there. So, in this video, I'll be showing you guys what makes a character, how the dice system works, how combat works, and what the DM does behind this DM screen.
So here, we'll take a look at how to create a character. To start off, you're going to need a roll for stats. Stats are a representation of what your character is good at. So if they have high strength, they can hit harder and pull more weight, or if they have high dexterity, they can move around faster and use ranged weapons better. To roll for your stats, you need to roll 4d6, take away your lowest number, and add up the last three numbers. That is one of your scores. You do this 5 more times and assign the totals to each one of your stats: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. After that, you pick your class and your race, both of which you can find in the player's handbook, and then you pick out your gear and add up all your modifiers from your class and race. The beauty of tabletop RPGs is that you can create whatever type of character you want. There are dozens of races to choose from, not even counting the ones you can create on your own, and you can create a hero with a personal backstory of your own design, so you can make and mold whatever character you want. One thing to keep in mind while you're creating your hero is that you don't have to pick what gives you the best combat or stat bonuses. Pick something that would fit your hero's personality, or what you personally like, because a lot of the appeal of tabletop RPGs is to roleplay your character and act how your character would do in a given situation.
Another really important aspect of Pathfinder is the dice system. Pathfinder uses a number of different types of dice based on the number of sides it has. The most common type of dice in the game is a 20-sided dice called a d20. The way it's read is the letter D followed by the number of sides it has. So a d20 would be a 20-sided dice. A d10 would be a 10-sided dice. A d6 would be a 6-sided dice, so on and so forth. The d20 is supposed to represent the chaotic and random nature of life. And the way dice work in Pathfinder is that there is a set numerical difficulty based on what your hero wants to do, and that is called the difficulty class, or DC. Your hero is supposed to meet that number or exceed it by rolling the d20 and adding the hero's related stats to it. And we'll look at how this will play out in gameplay in just a little bit. So as you turn the corner of your dungeon, you come across a long hallway. It's seemingly empty. What do you do?
Can I check for traps?
Yeah, roll perception check.
So that's 18 plus 4 perception is 22.
Alright, so yeah, you find a tripwire, and you suspect that it's part of a booby trap. So what do you want to do with that?
I'll try to disarm it.
Alright, cool. So I'm going to need you to roll disable device.
Okay, so that's 16 plus 3 is 19.
Alright, cool. That beats the DC of the trap, which was DC 18. So you successfully disarmed the trap. Alright, so
One more important aspect of Pathfinder is the Dungeon Master, or DM for short. The Dungeon Master is the player that runs the game. The main duties of the Dungeon Master are to make sure that the players are having fun and controlling the world that the players interact with. The Dungeon Master comes up with the adventures for the heroes to go on, as well as controlling the allies and enemies that they face on the adventure. To a Dungeon Master, the players having fun is more important than following the rules, so the DM has some flexibility with the rules, so long as the players enjoy how the game is being run. That being said, being a Dungeon Master is a lot of responsibility, however, since the Dungeon Master has to keep track of not just one character, but all of the characters that the players meet. To make sure that the players don't see the stats of NPCs or any other elements that the DM would like to keep secret, most of the DM's materials will be behind a screen. Behind the screen, the DM will have the rulebooks. I tend to keep mine in digital form on my tablet, scratch paper, notes of what has happened in the campaign so far, as well as the stats of all the non-player characters and monsters that the players will face. So that was a very simple crash course in how to play Pathfinder. I didn't cover it in too much detail because a lot of what the gameplay boils down to is rolling a dice and seeing if you roll high enough to accomplish whatever task you wanted to do. The rest of the game is based on how you describe what's happening around you and how you react to situations that the Dungeon Master throws at you. The game is limited only by your imaginations, and all your actions are ultimately up to you. If you want to go fight that dragon, go ahead and do it. If you want to suplex an alligator, go for it. If you want to just sit down and rest in a tavern, Nothing is stopping you. So there you have it, Pathfinder. And once you get the hang of acting out your character, the rest of the game and the fun will come naturally.